I'm Dr. Nandakishore Kapadia, cardiac surgeon from Global Hospital, Chennai, India. We had a very interesting patient from Yemen who is 1 year old child. Uh, Came with difficulty in breathing, failure to thrive. He was just 6.6 kilo and he was blue. When we did the echo, we found that he had a large VSD with right to left shunt and very tight mitral stenosis with a gradient of 28 millimeter, as well as there was a membrane above the mitral valve which was producing another level of obstruction. So if you see that diagrammatically, that is the heart, and this is the aorta, this is the very dilated pulmonary artery. There was no ASD, huge VSD which was measuring about 16 to 17 millimeter in each direction. And this is the mitral valve. Above the mitral valve there was a complete ring which was dividing actually the ALA into two, above and below the ring. And the mitral valve orifice was almost 3 millimeters. So there was an element of severe venous pulmonary hypertension as well as arterial hypertension. So by all the means and all the standards, this kind of children are mostly inoperable. Now the question was how to, decide whether to leave this patient and don't do nothing, or just do the mitral valve surgery minimum and don't do anything with the VSD, or take the risk and do everything and then fix with the highest mortality accepted all over the world, which is about 25 to 30%. So we decided to do the cath, which is very difficult in small children. We had cannulated the right femoral vein. We went to the IVC, inferior vena cava, right atrium, and through that we actually entered the pulmonary artery. And the PA pressure that time was 95 by 60, which was actually 5 millimeter above the arterial pressure in the femoral artery. And the systemic vascular resistance was coming almost 25 on room air. But to our surprise, when we took the transpulmonary gradient with the diastolic pressure and wedge pressure, we found that that was pretty high. And then we calculated the shunt and the PVR. We found that there was almost 1.2:1 element of shunt right to left, and very tight mitral stenosis with wedge pressure of 32, which came down to almost 28 on oxygen. So we decided that most likely this child can be operated with the high risk. So pre-operatively we put him on anti-failure regime, prepared him. He had some chest congestion and infection. We treated with antibiotics, and then we planned his surgery. On the day of surgery, we make sure that we had nitric oxide in the operating room. We had everything like possible needed, including ECMO if the heart doesn't come back. And to do the ECMO also in the small kids is difficult, so we had the smallest possible oxygenator available, which can last for a month and can help the lungs to recover. So in the OT, when we opened the sternum, we found that by all means, all the chambers were so dilated, the aorta was very small, the pulmonary arteries were very dilated, the periphery, and the color of the blood was very dark with acidosis, and everyone present in the OR said that, well, this child looks inoperable. And we tried to give 100% oxygen in the OR with anesthesia. Actually, it was showing still very low saturation, less than 90. Then the child was already on sildenafil. So that time we started nitric oxide. The pressure started coming down and saturation improved. So we decided to operate. So we operated the child on cardiopulmonary bypass. We cooled down to 26 degrees. Normally you don't cool so much. And we opened actually the right atrium, closed the VSD, and purposely we left a small hole so that if he goes into trouble and the right ventricle fails because of the high PA pressure, it can decompress and the child can come out of the crisis. There was no atrial septal defect, but we created one, thinking that if at all there is a problem of severe pulmonary hypertension crisis, it can pop off and decompress and heart can recover. And this is the first time, if you see the literature, that creation of the PFO and perforated VSD was done, and the surgery went well. We came off bypass without any trouble, without any heart block. But he was kept on Boston Children Hospital protocol, which is to keep him paralyzed in the dark area in the CT ICU with the continuous infusion of soda bicarb, and peer pressure lowering drugs were started like nitric oxide, dobutamine, milrinone, and he was kept on ventilator for 2 days electively. When everything was satisfactory, including echo, when the peer pressure post-op came down to 50%, what it was, we decided to wean him off the ventilator, and he recovered well. The 4th day, unfortunately, he had a severe stridor, which was probably because of the intubation. We have re-intubated, put on the steroids, Kyamoral, and he recovered. So he was discharged on the 9th day, and now it is almost 3rd week over. They're going back to Yemen. That shows the excellent recovery of this patient. He has already put on 1.4 kilo. He's now 8 kilo plus. He's eating well. He's not symptomatic, and there's a very tiny left to right shunt through the perforated VSD we have closed, which is going to close probably in 3 to 6 months time. Now, one more important thing in this patient is that he will be on some drugs which is going to lower the peer pressure for at least 1 year or so or more, and bosentan and sildenafil will be there, small dose of diuretic for a few days, and all his congestive hepatomegaly and other symptoms and signs have totally disappeared. Now, if you take some of the series in the world, the largest series comes from USA and Paris. One of the center, Marie-Lelong, where I was trained many years ago, this series says that if you do this kind of cases, 25% of the patient usually die inside the hospital itself within 30 days. And 5% to 10% then they mostly die once they go home if the mitral valve is not properly repaired. Here we had a conservative approach for the mitral valve repair. We actually opened only one commissure because the other commissure was incomplete. We excised the mitral valve supravalvular membrane, and that really helped for this pressure to come down. His cardiac output is excellent, and this was a very, very tricky surgery, and in presence of severe PH. Most of the time, most of the center, they may refuse or they can take the risk, but here the parents were mentally prepared to take the risk, and here he is totally recovered. And I think that this is a good message for this kind of surgery, because this is such a rare surgery, VSD with the congenital mitral stenosis. There are not many centers performing this kind of surgery, and there are not many centers, unless they have nitric oxide and full backup team, they should not be doing. But our center has got practically everything needed, including ECMO, and this way we were very confident of doing that. So that is the message, and we are very happy that this guy is doing very well. He is going back home tonight. Ask his, he speaks something.